Testing. Can you hear me, everybody?
Yes.
Okay, Aryan.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Keiko, yes. Kakak Brian?
Yeah.
All right, sure. Okay. Right. Keiko, any updates so far?
I think I told you my promo result, right?
Yes. Today before we finish the day, we'll talk about it a little bit. Yeah. Thanks for updating me. Anything else except for the phones?
No.
Right. For today, still simple. Do you want to continue with the differential equation, or do you want to go to the other application? I guess.
Is it still the same topic?
It's okay, but at this point, the moment you have tutorial, I think you can jump to it lah. I don't see a problem.
Yeah.
So you don't have to. You treat this as an introduction lah. You're not trying to master the topic that fast unless there's an urgent need. I don't think there is an urgent need lah right now.
That's true.
So there is no. It is okay to introduce ourselves to other topics. It is okay.
Then I'll do that.
All right. Okay. So the other topic back then you told me was what? Sorry, besides differential equation, it will be
Complex numbers, I think.
oh, complex numbers. Okay, complex number is more serious than the Okay, let me think for a while. Let me ask Aren. Okay, Aren and Noah. Do you want to ask questions? Do you have questions right now, sir?
I think so.
All right. Aryan?
Not right now.
All right. Still turn on your video. So Aryan and Noah, I will ask you to be with Kakak Brian first. You answer questions first. But later on, we'll talk about paper one. Now, at this point, I just want to be clear. Do you know the topics of paper one and therefore the likely topics of paper two?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. We'll talk about paper one later then. I'll assign you to the breakout rooms, right?
Wait, so when they finish their questions, then come back here, is it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Sure.
But maybe stay there for around 45 minutes lah. That's probably gonna be okay. Right?
Okay.
Okay, got it. Okay. Oh, sorry, Kakak Brian. Alamak. Kakak Brian. Need your help for the first 10 pages of complex number.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Right. Sure. Then you go to breakout. Thanks.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, I join first, then I WhatsApp you.
Can. Wonderful.
Can I?
Can also.
Okay.
Can also. Okay, so Keiko, again, just for your information, there is another application of integration called the volume of revolution lah. However, that is probably the easiest thing. So I'm not too worried. The logic is very clear cut. So it's just getting enough practice from the tutorial. That there isn't much problem with that lah.
Okay.
Right. So you won't have to. It's okay to not talk about it right now. Whereas complex number is let me settle you on the logic at the start, just like vector. So complex number logic and vector logic is all seems new at the start. So you get used to it, and then after a while, it should be considered not a difficult topic. But if you don't get the logic at the start, then it becomes more difficult than necessary.
Okay.
Okay.
I see.
Right. So yeah, there isn't much to say until at least I no.
Also for the promo paper, right? I don't
Yeah.
I don't really like, cause they only gave us time to calculate the number, to calculate the total mark, see if the marks were tabulated correctly.
Right.
So yeah, I think I did manage to grab like as many meta marks as I can from what I saw from briefly flipping through. So yeah.
So we should really talk when we have it in front of us lah. But
Yeah.
what do you think? There was the topics before and the topics after tuition, right? Does it really make a difference? Or was it really that different, or no? It's about the same between those two groups.
Vectors definitely improved. I can't. Okay, wait. Before tuition, the topics weren't that difficult. Also, I think like relatively
I
simpler.
wouldn't call function, I wouldn't call function difficult, composite difficult, inverse difficult, transformation, no, inequalities also no, except vectors lah, of course, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're right lah. The first few topics are usually not the most confusing part lah. True.
But I think, the tuition did help. Like, not just in terms of like understanding the concept, but also in terms of like stress management somehow.
It is meant to be like that. It is it's more like but you're right, work management leads to stress management, at least for people like you lah. At least for people like you. You don't need much more lah. You don't need, it doesn't seem that you need much more regarding stress management, rather than just to get your work done is already happy lah, something like that. Right.
But like before tuition, like cause I didn't understand or I didn't know how to do a lot of questions, right? I think I was very stressed about like even handing the work on time lah, or coming up, showing up for lesson with work prepared. So yeah.
Yep. I totally get that lah. And some people get used to it. I don't think you should. And there's every chance right now to not get used to, I don't have to hand my work, time. It's okay. I can just follow my tutorial. That kind of way of studying. You probably wouldn't like it, and you should not get used to it. And I don't think you are getting used to that road. You're sticking to the other side of it.
Yeah.
Right, which is great. Let me greet Michael. Michael, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Right. For the first 45 minutes, I'm just assigning everybody to answer questions first, with Kak Brian in a breakup. So okay. Unless there is a objection, then please join them there. After that, then we'll talk about paper 1 and paper 2 a bit more. But again, first question. Yes?
I have a list of the untested topics that for the paper 1.
Read. You can read to me immediate. I can directly check with you. Read for me.
Where is it? Applications of quadratic functions, whatever that is.
What is that? Discriminant is there already. Discriminant is there already.
Discriminant
Twice.
is there. Yeah.
Some more. So perhaps no more discriminant there.
Then surds and indices, although technically also got surd.
Technically, but very small. So you should expect surd and indices. Yes. Then
factors of like a cube plus b cube, or a cube minus b cube.
Yeah, I mean that memorizing lah. He doesn't mean factor theorem and remainder theorem because that's already there, right? Okay, then.
You exponential and logarithmic function.
Yeah, of course, yes.
Use of TR plus 1 formula in binomial. I don't know why that's there. Coordinate geometry.
Yeah, you should assume binomial doesn't count, right? You should assume. Then quadrant geometry is roughly there, very roughly. So don't know. I'm not sure what's going on in paper. It seems to be there though. Yeah.
Then also circles.
Circles, there's a hidden circle question.
Yeah.
In paper 1, right? So not sure where that's going though, but maybe there will be another circle question then.
R formula?
R formula is not there, yes.
Applications of trig functions.
Not sure what that means. Whatever.
Probably
the multiple answer not there, right?
No, probably it's probably proof that this is equal to that, and then
maybe
solve
proof
multiple answer.
Proof multiple and triangle not there.
Croc
is
technically not there.
No, not there. Yeah, not there.
Differentiation using product or quotient rule and that of long function.
I think it's roughly there. Right? Never mind. You should be prepared for both paper for that anyway, right? No problem, right?
Integration involving hence or using part A type of question.
Yep. Differentiation then integration, right? Okay,
area under curve and sketching of expo and logarithmic graphs.
Yeah, that's called a power graph sketching, right?
But I thought you just said sub values in.
I'm sorry, what? Sub value?
You said
yeah, those things. Yeah, I agree with this. I agree with the list. Okay. Besides all those like binomial, I think you should just forget about it. Discriminant, you should just forget about it. I don't think it'll come out again. Even if it comes out, I don't think it's going to be major because there's too many topic that hasn't come out. Look at the list of topic. It's already above 12, right?
There's 17.
Correct. Which doesn't usually fit into a paper. A paper will maximum 13 number, usually 12. Right. So yeah, those who came out, I don't think will come out again. If not, there won't be room for the other topics. Okay. I hope that makes sense. Right. Okay.
Can I leave the sketching of expo graphs to the last one? Because if I have
of course you can. Yes, of course you can.
Okay.
Of course you can. Right. It is totally up to you. That one was never in my recommendation. So that's totally up to you. All right. Go to breakout room first. Ask questions. I'll see you soon. All right.
Okay.
Sorry, Keiko, you were saying I was saying the road. The road. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yes. Okay, I feel like the main difference between like upper sec and now, right, is that in upper sec I had more time to revise the math topics. Like I used to do all the basic questions and the what I don't know what they call the tutorial questions in the textbook.
Yep.
So yeah. After that, I will have a solid understanding of each chapter, but now I don't have the time to do that.
Correct. You are not wrong. When they say the A-level load is more, what they meant is more compressed. That is the problem. So let's say I've taught a MI student, that's a 3-year JC, right?
Yeah.
Same syllabus. Alamak, it's like super relaxed like that one. Until too relaxed. Because the difference is not 2 years and 3 years. The difference is 1.5 years and 2.5 years. That's more accurate saying that. So that's a lot of difference. Right? Until don't know what to say. Right? You are right. The tempo is major, and that's why I stress a lot on the tempo by simply saying you do the tutorial before the tutorial, right? And that's what you are. This might be surprising. That alone does not guarantee the exam success. Definition of success being B or A. for now.
Yeah.
Right? It does not, and yet you're doing the right thing because I should probably just say the exam is, if you have any exam skill deficiency, if you have any, right, it will show up very clearly in A level, be it promo, be it prelim, be it A level. I mean throughout JC, right? And very weirdly, this is perhaps the last time it will show. I don't know how to. A level is the last major exam you have. That means in uni, you only have semester exams. There is no major exam. The most major one is called final year project, and that's not an exam. That's a project. It's a different field, and I think you have no problem with that.
Sorry,
yes, hi, Noah.
Add me to the breakout room.
Yes, I know this. So when I say exam skill deficiency, it is because it is a very major exam. Even promo seems major lah. Even promo seems major, right? So I'm guessing that's part of maybe 1/3 of the problem, and that is something I would like to address immediately, as in either the start of next year or maybe during holiday tuition. I'll explain what I mean by that. Now, Yankin is going through the training, right? Right. So before O level, you have around 1.5 week of pure time for yourself, right? You don't have to follow the school schedule.
O level.
Yeah. 1.5 week or 1 week lah, something like that.
1 week. 1 week.
1 week.
Yeah.
In A level, is at least 1 month.
Oh.
And before that, there's always the prelim, and the prelim is another 2 months lah. That's similar to O level, right? 2 months of pure review, basically. So the syllabus basically finishes at around July, very early, way early before A level. That contributes to the tempo that we mentioned just now. Good and bad, good and bad. So they rush through, so to speak. They rush through, and then it's pure revision.
I see.
This is the last time in a formal academic study that you will be doing it. In university, they don't do that. They don't. They test you per semester. The tempo is still fast, but it's never mind. We'll talk
it's
about
like poly like that, right?
But the poly student don't survive in uni. I don't know how to say that. The pace is like almost twice as fast. The pace of uni is you're not gonna grow, right? You're gonna grow as you go to uni, right? You're gonna grow slightly smarter, slightly wiser, slightly better at managing yourselves, those kind of stuff. So the difficulty and the tempo of uni, in local uni at least, not Japanese uni, for example, I wouldn't know that, right? But local uni is the same as JC. So if you can manage yourself well in JC, you just have to apply the same thing in uni. The tempo will feel about the same because you're of your own growth lah. Obviously, uni is faster than JC, but you grow also, something like that. So plus the first semester of uni, if you choose the similar sounding courses with JC, you will find a lot of repetition.
Yes.
Right. So if you do that, then additional less stress, more stress during transition, but less stress because of repetition, those kind of stuff. Plus, you don't go to NS. Plus, all those stuff. The boys really have it rough. Only Brian probably, the only person I know which is called Brian and Ian probably wouldn't be rusty others. Never mind. So that's not your life. Now back to our management. So you have a feel of a well-managed study, right?
I think so.
You only have to maintain that. going faster doesn't matter much. Really, it doesn't matter much. Making use of holiday makes sense, but going faster doesn't really matter a lot. So exam, and should we talk about one more thing? No need. I don't think we need. So I am assuming that you have some exam skill yet. I'm just going to assume
I
that.
would assume so.
That will take care of the problem that you need to take care anyway. Yeah. I guess that's it. Yeah. Okay, let's go to complex for a while. Check things out. No, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the pages. Don't care about this, don't care about that, don't care about this. That is not bad. Yeah, nice. Okay, something like that. Yeah, okay, yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna send you the last 3. Yeah, example 4, example 5, and example 6. Okay, you'll be seeing example 4, 5, and 6, yeah?
Should I change my study method for math?
Now what do you mean?
Or should I, not change, or should I try to adopt the O-level method again?
What is the O-level method that you
use the textbook? Like that means I will have to find a JC textbook, I guess. Because I feel like that really helped me, huh? Sorry.
If I'm not wrong, I'm still assuming a lot of things on you. I will know better. We should know better when we look at the working. That's why I keep asking for it. Right? So regarding math, right? I think for you, math is the hardest subject. Objectively, yes.
I guess, yeah. Everything else is C.
For most people, math is the second hardest subject. Talk about H2, and that's because there is another subject that they actually do not want to take, or they how do I say? The point is they're not into the subject for whatever reason, and it's a H2, so it's even worse, right? Maybe at the start there's already nothing. There's no good option for them already, or they thought they like it, but it turns out to be more difficult, and obviously you cannot get out of it. Those kind of reasons. Then H2 math becomes slightly easier than that subject, which is not saying much, right? But for you, it does seem that every other subject you like it, you're okay. So H2 math becomes the hardest subject because H2 math is the hardest subject objectively, if there is no other thing, right? So must be clear about that first. However, given enough exam practice, so I never talk about study skill. I don't talk about how you manage your work. How you manage your work after tuition is already tip top. You will notice that there isn't much other person like that has similar work ethic to you, similar work ethic to you in tutorials. If you look around a little bit.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, so no point improving that. There are other things to improve, is what I'm trying to say. And that has something to do with how the difficulty or the challenges of math. They have something to do with that. Okay, yeah. So that is the issue. Yeah. So, but will study method fix it? The issue goes back to the fact that you don't have much time.
Yeah.
You want to repeat more, right? You want to repeat the textbook or the tutorial more. Now, your textbook is in front of you. It is called the lecture note. And the lecture note has examples, which are usually good. And it also has tutorial, which is the practice, right? And then the assignment, which is like assignment is the closest thing you'll get to exam question from your textbook, right? So the furthest I should say regarding studying is like you should do your assignment as quickly as possible.
Like time.
I don't mean rushing. I mean that only when you reach assignment, then you start to have some effect on your exam. H2 exam is a different thing from studying H2 math. If only it were that easy. If only by keeping up with the tutorial, I can score well in exam. If only. As far as I can tell, most A student in math does not think that way, because that's not it. Right? The math exam is designed like the way A math was designed back then. It was designed to separate the A from everybody else. I don't know how else to say this. The A student from everybody else. Only the A student will find it kind of easy or manageable. The rest will find it ever-changing, ever-evolving. No set pattern, even though there's clearly a pattern. I guess it makes sense, right? The A student see a pattern, the other student don't see the pattern. Then you can already tell why their life are very different, no? Something like that, something like that.
Yeah.
Right. So the issue is there, and that's not something to fix by repeating the lecture. No, it's not. Or by repeating the tutorial. Even the assignment doesn't help a lot. But the assignment must, if you complete the assignment, let me put it that way. If you complete assignment, C is guaranteed. Look, if you understand the assignment, C is guaranteed. Maybe B in exam.
Okay.
To go to A, it's something else. It's really something else. Okay?
Okay.
Right. I mean, you can tell already from the tutorial questions that you did just for DE. How come the question keep changing one? How come the question is different? I mean, AMAT was also like that, but it's worse here, I suppose, because the topic is wider lah. I don't know how else to say. Right. Plus in chemistry, for example, I'll take chemistry example. The topics has a certain chaining, has a certain building up upon each other.
Yeah.
So the bad thing is if you don't know the foundation, then you just struggle all the way. But you are not a person like that. You don't suffer from that kind of problem. You will most likely benefit instead of suffer from it. Math doesn't work that way. Whatever you learn in vector does not help you in any way in complex. It's very annoying that way. The only thing that builds up is statistics later on. It does build up. That's about it. Even differentiation and integration, although they do build up, feels very different. Parametric feels very different from DE. The logic is just different.
Yeah.
So it's true that they build, but it's, again, just different. So there's a lot of differences from studying chem and studying math. I'll just call it that way. Biology also builds up. Right?
Okay.
So again, your study method doesn't need to change or improve or be adjusted a lot. You don't have to. Really. That's not what will give you most results. Right? So even explaining the exam skill.
I mean, I'm just trying to identify what went wrong. So yeah. So
that is. You didn't try any prelim question, right? So to speak, intentionally before your promo, right?
No, I just did promo papers.
Fair, that's kind of prelim. You have to do the. Let me explain what your senior is doing, like Yankin. Yankin, you read the paper, right? So Yankin actually prepare paper 1 and paper 2 by reading them, right? Reading them, annotating a lot of stuff, reading, absorbing, happy lah. We even discussed in the initial sub, like, what do you think about this question? Short of telling him how to do it, I will talk about the question. Right? It is the kind of conversation that I want him to have with himself during the real exam. We have to analyze the question, basically. Right? So we do this, we do that, we just do that, and then we let it sit in our brain, and we discover that our brain did not get overwhelmed by actually looking at and analyzing the question. It's very weird. He even analyzed the full paper, which is paper 1 and paper 2. Total 6 hours, Total 6 hours worth of question, analyze, talk, annotate, this, that. Nobody's feeling overwhelmed. And then when he does it in a very specific way, which is very similar to exam. So paper 1, 1.5 hours, paper 2, 1.5 hours. Combine them into a slot of 3 hours, right? That is after the preparation.
Like just reading and annotating, and no actual solving.
No actual doing. Then I have to explain a little bit what that means. What it means is very simple. Like, if it is a standard procedure, that means you are experienced enough to know, yeah, this topic very standard one, you do this, do that. Writing the standard procedure or noting the standard procedure is not considered doing. It's standard, it's expected, right? Noting that this question gives you this and this question gives you that, and writing down what you should do with that is also not considered doing. That's called analyzing the question. That is something that I want already happening in the brain, in the mind, before actually doing it. Hence the definition of not doing things. Okay. That means you prepare what you're supposed to present. That's not considered doing things. You kind of think about what you're supposed to do and kind of just write it down a little bit, not considered doing. The end of reading, the end of a good reading looks like this. For example, a question is, 3, 4, 2, 1, right? For example, for a total of 10 marks, right? 3, 4, 2, 1. Then the end of a good reading is, you can say to yourself, I can target this 8 out of 10, this certain marks. That is the end of a very good reading. Right. Again, by stating that I can clearly take this guy probably I'll take this one, I'm not so sure, so 8 out of 10. Something like that. Okay. So you do that for 2 or 3 times, your brain starts to do what he's supposed to do. Something like that, which is to be in a maximum state for the exam for the H2 math exam, right? For Yankee it works for chemistry also, but for chemistry I never need to comment. For him it works that way also. Okay. So whenever somebody has a problem with exam, or I sense this is somehow an exam skill problem, that is what we train, and the result is apparent after usually 1 week. It's obvious whether it is addressing the problem or not. Now, the only way I can describe the problem, how come the A student doesn't seem to have that problem? How come other students seem to struggle, The only way I can explain it is like this. The reading brain is different from the doing brain. It is, I'm not sure whether you can call it totally opposite. They are very different. They're just very different. And to a certain subject, you can switch between reading and doing very quickly. And you have no problem with that particular subject. But in other subjects, you might not even know that you should be doing that. You should be reading, for example. Or you just want to do immediately, or When you start doing, you no longer are able to analyze the question properly or take advantage of certain things. It's very weird for me to say that you have that problem. I thought that you did not have that problem, but that's my first suspicion. And it will be very clear when I see your working. Right. So of course, I hope that you don't have that problem. But if you do have that problem, the solution
Actually, I
is
think I do.
You do have that problem.
I only realized it for like GP though. Cause like before J1, like let's say I'm looking at an essay question, I don't really plan. I just start writing. But I realized
which doesn't work well with GP1.
Yeah, for GP that doesn't work at all. So this time I actually, like, cause for paper 1 we have 12 essay questions. I really look at them and see like, do I have enough content to answer? And then I plan first, like, yeah.
And then you plan first. You write certain paragraph. Yeah. Composition needs planning lah.
Yeah.
Proper composition. If not, you will run out of time, or you just do without. You know the problem. You if you already realize that, you know what's the problem. Right? Now that in math, that's actually is the same problem. The same problem manifests differently lah. Differently.
Yeah.
In GP, you end up writing lower quality. I don't know how do I say that. That it is like the best essays are usually not very long. Maybe I put it that way.
Yeah.
They're very compact, contrast. They deliver. They talk relevance. They end well. They flow nicely. You feel a sense of joy reading them. La 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 la. Yeah, something like that lah. Right. So, in math, that is supposed to happen. It is supposed to happen that way, and therefore reading is very important, and therefore we must understand that reading and doing brain is very different.
Okay.
If you practice that, what happens when you practice all sort of stuff, that kind of technique lah? So for O-level students, for A-level students, what happens is that you are first automatically immune to exam pressure. It is. I'm saying this not because I know you. It's just an average result. Usually, people become immune. Can't really explain why. Go back to that problem. Look, the problem that I see is that your reading mind was being sabotaged by your doing mind. But when you do this kind of training, you no longer allow the reading to be disrupted by the urge to do. You will read properly and read fully. And then when you do all the way. You don't have to switch between doing and reading also. The brain appreciates that. I'm not sure how to explain this lah.
Okay. Yeah, I understand.
All right.
I can see how it helped for GP lah, at least. Yeah.
Right. So you are make no mistake, you are using the same thinking in GP as in math. That's why I keep referring to Yankin. Yankin, you're reasonably good at your GP and you're reasonably good at your history. Right? This kind of skill you must apply to Chem and then to math. Something like that. Something like that.
Okay.
So as fast so for example, take example of Kyoko lah. I'm guessing that Kyoko has a similar problem, right? So for Kyoko, 1 year from now he'll have O-level. You 1 year from now you'll have A-level.
Yeah.
For Kyoko, during this holiday tuition, I'm already starting a very mini version of that. Here's 3 questions, Kyoko. The 3 question total is, let's say, 15 marks. Okay, you have 5 minutes to read. We talk. Actually, I don't usually limit the reading, right? Just read as much as you can, and then you have 10 minutes to do it. 10 minutes to do 15 marks. It seems very impossible, but usually they surprise themselves. So for you, Keiko, we will be doing the mini stuff lah. This is likely what we'll be doing, right? Something like that, right? So, yeah, something like that. So I believe that's the problem. No? Then after you settle that problem, you usually take care of yourself. Usually. I'm guessing that will be the likely result. Okay.
Okay.
Right. Now back to the complex number first.
Yeah.
I forwarded you 3 pages. What time is it? All right. Yeah. Now, notice that complex number in example 4. The Z is the alphabet for complex number. Z and then W. So they are avoiding X and Y. Just saying. They're also avoiding X and Y. They don't say Z is equal to X plus YI. They don't say that. They say Z equals to A plus BI. A is the standard for the normal number. They call it the real number. And B is BI. Now, BI is the new guy. Look. What is I? Just checking whether you know what is I.
Like not real.
I is the thing that appear in our O-level calculator when you have a quadratic and you say the roots are imaginary. Right?
Yeah.
That is the result of rooting a negative number. So I is root -1. Nothing else. So let's say there's a 4i, right? In example 4, there is a 4i. What is 4i? 4i is 4 times root -1, meaning root -4. And I'm sorry, root -16 lah. That is lah.
Also, so it's fixed, like root -1.
Is I. And I is root -1, and that's it. Complex number deals with this guy. The rest is algebra and quadratic geometry, but in complex lah, in complex.
Okay.
So when they say Z is assumed to be A plus BI, right? So he's saying that Z will have a number which is not imaginary, 2 lah, for example, 2, plus a number which is imaginary, I don't know, 3i. 3i meaning root -9, but we call it 3i. That's it. 2 and 3i will never mix with each other. They just stay side by side. Hence, complex number, the real number and the imaginary number. Hence, without a shred of doubt, you have already encountered complex number every time you press your O-level calculator and the answer to give you an imaginary number. It's not imaginary number, it's 2 plus something, something, something I. That's complex number. That's it lah. That's all. The rest of the chapter talks about how to manipulate, what's the new skill, if there is any, how to actually deal with this kind of question. That's it lah. Okay.
Okay.
Now you check example 4 for a while because I'm not sure why Noah is here. Noah, why are you here? Sorry.
So I was using data and I ran out of data for the month.
Oh. Let me assign you to the room again. Correct? Is it correct?
Yeah, I don't know if my camera can be visible.
If you can't, then you have to rely on Jamboard already.
Right.
Okay. All right. Okay, so Keiko, we're just introducing ourselves to imaginary number. All the talk I give you, the purpose is just to get you used to it. We are not targeting anything else today, right? You look at example 4, you read and you tell me what's new, and let me go through with you lah.
They equate the real and imaginary parts.
Yeah, that's called comparing coefficient, a very old skill. The skill that you do in a very similar skill that you do in CERT, right? In CERT, you compare the coefficient, like CERT 2 in front, you compare the coefficient in polynomial, the cubic guy, you compare coefficient in partial fraction. Very old skill. They're just doing the same thing here. It's the moment they compare the coefficient, which is equating the real and imaginary part, you notice that at that point, the I disappeared. Do you notice that?
Yeah.
And therefore, it's just normal algebra already. Look.
Yeah,
because A and B is not imaginary. BI is imaginary. The I is imaginary. B is still normal number. So needless to say, from the equating until the end, there is no more complex number. It's that simple, really, The new one is the first 3 lines. That's it. Really.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Right. So you will be able to do this question immediately just like that. Just like that. There is no fancy stuff here, so to speak. Kenya. I will just mention one thing. Z squared equals to 3 minus 4i. And then the first line is let Z equals to A plus BI. That innocent looking let almost always works.
Okay.
That's like the standard thing to do, and everything else fall into life. What I want to explain to you, like maybe the next time, maybe on Sunday, is when that doesn't work, there is another technique, and these 2 techniques is enough for everything. So I just summarize complex number A level for you. It's either let Z plus ABI or the other technique. That's it. Look, finish. All right.
Okay.
Now go to example 5. Let's see what happened. Example 4, 5, 6 don't have the other technique I mentioned. So express this in the form of A plus BI, right? Okay, what's going on here? I mean, is it that difficult? Look at what Kakak Brian did. That's not like
This actually looks like A math.
it is with I low.
Yeah,
and
with
I square is -1, by the way. Makes sense, right?
Oh yeah, yes.
So I square become not imaginary. Right? That's it. That's it. So okay. The first part is like that, and the first one is gonna help us, right? Hence find the root of the equation, this, right? Yeah. So Kakak Brian realized that -8 plus 6i is just a minus of the one above, right? That's it, Lo,
yeah.
and that's it, lah. So we are one step into the solution already. Okay, we realize that the connection between the first part and the second part, there's the word hence, man. Okay, we realize that, and then you look at the line z plus 1 square equals to -3 minus I square, lah. So at that point, it seems understandable, I would say. Seems understandable, right? Look at how Kakak Brian handled the square rooting. Look. Square root of -1 is I, right?
Square root of sorry?
Square root of -1 is I, right?
Pi.
I.
Oh, I.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes.
There is no magic there. Okay, -1 is just I. Okay, that's it. Look. Square root of 3 minus I square is 3 minus I. Look. That's it. Look. The rest is simple algebra. Look. There isn't much to it, lah.
Yeah.
Right. That's it, lah. I mean, this is yeah. Okay, right. Looking at example 6. Example 6 is slightly more challenging because you notice that there's a Z and W.
Yeah.
No wonder they call this simultaneous equations. No wonder. Now here's the standard way of doing it. I think Kakak Brian do it in a more in the less standard, maybe shorter way. Here, if I see Z and W, I immediately let Z equals to A plus BI, right?
Yeah, yes.
And I will let W equals to C plus DI.
Yes.
That's it, look. And then I sub it into the 2 equation, and then I match here. So I'll be solving 4 unknown, A, B, C, D. I will have 4 sets of equation. Shouldn't be a problem. Really.
Yeah.
Kakak Brian didn't do it that way. It is very interesting, therefore, to learn his way, and then to try the let A plus BI and let C plus DI and compare. They actually try to They actually hinted to you there on the right hand side.
Yeah.
Oh, right. So he's suggesting that you don't do that. He's suggesting that you don't do that. Why don't you try eliminating one complex number variable, meaning to say you use substitution to make one of them disappear, right? Right.
Yeah.
And that's fine if you can. The question must be designed so that you can do that. I sometimes don't bother, I sometimes just do what they ask you not to do. It is still about the same speed, believe it or not. Believe it or not, it's just the same speed. So I don't really care sometimes. Really. Okay. So if you want to do something today, right, because we don't have time to observe and learn the other technique, okay, they'll take some time. You just try the A plus BI and C plus DI, and then you try to compare it with Kakak-Brian's method, and then you have some understanding already. By the way, example 6 is almost exam question. Almost.
Okay.
So give it a try. There'll be a lot of work, but just like vector, it's mostly actually not very complicated.
I do it now, right?
Yes, please.
Yeah, okay.
Give it a try. Right. See what happens. Let me go to the breakout room.
Okay.
Okay, Aryan, you were calling me in WhatsApp just now, right? So,
oh yeah,
Aryan, how is it?
wanted to ask if like I could leave.
All right, so let me just check a few things. You have no question?
Yeah, I was gonna ask, but then you called me to the main room. So yeah, sure, yeah.
Sorry, you don't have any question, really?
Sorry?
You don't have any questions to clarify?
No.
All right. Very briefly, how do you find paper 1?
Oh yeah, paper 1 was very manageable. I could complete all the questions on time.
Wonderful.
Except for the the laptop question.
The one that starts with A sin NT lah, right?
Yeah, it was kind of tedious and like couldn't really.
I want to make it clear about that topic so that you know you very likely not appear in paper 2 lah. What do you think is the topic of that question?
Kinematics.
Yes. The after the first part, it's kinematics already, lah.
Yeah.
Right. So very likely that you won't be seeing kinematics in paper 2. Partly because I think there's a lot of topic that they haven't covered lah. So I don't think they can afford to cover a lot of topics. So you should be prepared for other topics lah. Right. Glad to hear that it's manageable. When I see the questions, I feel that there's a lot of small tricks here and there that may make life harder lah. So I'm really happy to hear that you seem to manage them lah, right? Them. I wouldn't call paper 1 easy.
Yeah, it wasn't easy, but manageable.
Yeah. Right. Good to know. Of course, you should expect paper 2 to be equal difficulty. I don't think it will be more difficult. I think it will be around equal. but there's a lot more topics, which brings me to the next question. Are you clear what the topics are for paper 2?
Yes.
Okay. With that in mind, you have no questions.
Yep.
I'm okay. I'll see you on Sunday then, correct?
Yep.
Right. Then feel free to leave. Do you don't sound tired? Are you feeling okay?
Yeah.
All right. Then do normal things lah tomorrow. No need to change. Okay.
Yep.
After tomorrow, you should still rest. Okay. You should rest and then you should then study. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll see you on Sunday. All right?
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Michael, do you have any questions on Q? I can help you immediately.
No.
All right. Okay. Actually, I was curious about your paper 1. I haven't had a chance to hear about it more. What do you think about paper 1? Is there anything you want to share with me?
I didn't know how to fully do the inequality thing, and that's pretty much it.
Which inequality?
The one with K. I don't remember. It's the one with K.
There is a question with K, cert K, but I don't think there's another one, I think. Yeah. Oh, K equals to 9, and then
there should be a range one.
I think the part B is a discriminant question.
Oh no, part B I'm fine. I don't know how to do part A. I think it was like
which K?
Prove that a squared is greater than 36b or something.
3b. That starts with a cubic, right? That starts with a cubic, and then it quickly changed into a discriminant question. Maybe that's the part that you're not sure, right? I understand. That's half tricky. That's a little bit tricky. I understand, right? Nothing else. All right, understand. Any other question for paper 2 right now?
Any other question for paper 2?
Yeah, because you know the topics, you should be practicing them right now. I mean, that's pretty much what you need to do. No questions right now?
For now, no.
Right. Are you practicing questions right now? Because I cannot see anything.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Then just be here for morale support until you don't need morale support anymore. Right? Okay. I'll be here. Right. I'll be here.
Oh, so wait, am I here or do I?
No, stay here until you no longer want to stay here. That's totally up to you. Right. I'm here for your moral support. Okay. So when you want to leave, like Aryan, you leave. If you want to stay, you stay. Totally fine.
Okay.
So Kiki.
I'm supposed to eliminate the I, right?
Are you doing it somewhere? Sorry, I cannot follow you.
Jamboard.
I cannot see. There's a new Jamboard. Is it? There's a new Jamboard.
This one runs. Wait. No, it's still. What's it called?
The title would be
other accounts.
Keiko holiday tuition other ACC after promo.
Yeah.
I see in page 19 that you have the DE question, but I don't see any complex number.
Oh, there's no page 20. Okay, hang on.
There is page 20, but it's blank. Where are you doing it?
I'm on page 20. Okay, wait.
Right. Okay.
Is it there?
It's blank, so I'll just refresh it. Maybe it's my problem. It is now before me, right? Okay. Right. So there was a refreshing problem. Let me just copy that question.
Is the working there?
6. So I'm gonna copy. Yeah. Now I can see you're working until A plus BI plus 2C plus 2DI, that kind of thing, right? Correct.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So we are at this point, we're comparing coefficient, right? So there are 2 things here, right? There's let's call this the. Wait, let me get my pen. pen appear. So let's call this 1 and let's call this 2, Ken.
Okay.
1 is ready for comparing coefficient and it will give you 2 equations, right? 2 is also ready for comparing coefficient and it also give you 2 equations. How come I'm suspicious with 2? Wait, let me think for let me see for 1 or 2. How come it doesn't seem to be right? Wait. That's a minus I, not minus 1. Yeah, it's a minus I.
Oh, I think okay then.
Right, okay. So now we are comparing coefficient, right? We're comparing coefficient. So what happens in 1? 1 should give you 2 equations. Do you know why? Because you're comparing the real and the imaginary.
Also, I move over all the ones with the imaginary numbers to the right hand side.
Or you can just write down everything like A plus B plus 4C equals to 2, right? B minus, is that a D or A? That's an A. Oh goodness, your A and your D looks like twins. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, so B minus A plus 4D equals to minus 3, right? Correct? I'm just comparing coefficient. Better check whether I'm right or wrong.
Okay, I can just get rid of these.
Yeah, you can also do that.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
And therefore, that's what I wrote, right? So you write 2 more things here. You write 2 more things here.
Oh, okay, I see.
Right? We are just comparing coefficient, right? We're just doing. And then guess what? Press the calculator. Done. This is 4 equation, 4 unknowns.
Oh, okay.
I would argue that this is not slower this method written in Kakak Brian's note lah. So press your calculator.
God, you got any recommendations on what topic I should touch on?
You don't have to go per topic if that's not what you meant. But
Yeah,
I'm asking
no, but sorry, what you asked a question?
All right. So this is so based on paper 1, I noticed that paper 1 does sort of a hidden topic by comboing more than one topic. That the discriminant is being comboed twice to other topics. One of them is what you asked just now. It was meant to be a cubic question. That cubic topic is the factor into discriminant. So that's a very rare combo. I seldom see that before. Very rarely. Then there's a hidden circle. Hidden circle inside a very innocent looking CG question, I would say.
Okay.
The one that they give you ABC, right? They just tell you the length of AC, root 89, and then they give you A and B. They give you the area of ABC as 50.
Wait, sorry, can you repeat that?
Sorry, Michael, I think we are cut off. Sorry, I think you're cut off. Can you hear me, Mike?
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, I think we are cut off. Before we continue, Keiko, the answer is the same, right?
Yeah,
is it the same? Right. Then you may want to compare with their method because sometimes you do need more. I would say the Kakak Brian's note is the more creative method. The one that we did just now is so not creative at all. It's yeah. give it a try, and then if you want to call it a day, that's already good enough. This is already like what almost 2 lectures.
Oh, okay.
Maybe 1.5, like maybe 1.5 lecture. Because I did skip some foundational part, I did do that, but it's okay for now. Okay, you understand Kakak Brian's method, you close it, you redo it. Okay. Right. Okay, so back to you, Michael. Right. So I noticed a lot of hidden question lah. Like I feel that there's a hidden circle there in the CG question, the ABC one, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's reasonable to assume that in paper 2, they're going to do the same thing. What do I mean by the same thing? It's like they mix topic in one question and they don't make it very clear the other topic. Something like that. Okay.
Okay.
I feel that those kind of questions are rare. That's the problem. I haven't collected myself those kind of questions. Most of the questions that I have are the difficult version of a pure topic. That doesn't seem to happen a lot in paper 1. No? It doesn't seem to be like that paper 1. Like the binomial was easy, right? The binomial was easy. It's not particularly very difficult. Remember, there was 8 marks, I think.
Oh,
The sketching of trigograph, the one you asked, is also not very difficult. It's very straightforward, I feel, right? Most of the differentiation also feels very straightforward. There's an integration, the one with ex thingy for 7 marks. You have to integrate twice. Remember, they give you d square y dx square. You have to integrate twice.
Oh, yeah.
7 marks, right? 7 marks you would think is very difficult, right? No, it's very easy and straightforward. When I do it, did I miss anything? I don't think so. I keep checking for 2 and 3 times. Right? I don't think I missed any. It's very easy integration. It's obvious. No?
The one in paper 1.
The one in paper 1. Are you forgetting the
I don't
questions?
remember that question. So can you repeat the question? Sorry, I'm gonna ask like a lot to repeat because I don't remember a lot of the questions because I would rather forget a lot of the questions.
I mean, fair. You're fair. I'm not trying to make you remember the question. That's not what I mean. Just look at page 20. I'm just trying to say that when they give you a pure topic, they don't make it difficult in paper 1. Right? They don't. So they give you d square. They give you d square y dx square equals to something like 2e minus x plus 6e to x, something like that. They give you that, and then they tell you that the gradient
Oh,
t,
this question.
t 0,5 and the gradient is equals to 3, right? And then you integrate twice, right? You're supposed to find the c, right? Twice.
Yeah.
It's extremely easy for 7 marks, Right?
This was 7 marks.
This was 7 marks. I keep count on everything one.
Oh.
I noticed that this question is very easy for 7 marks. Usually 7 marks is very scary, usually. So my point is they don't try to make things hard by making a certain topic hard. They don't. I find that they make it hard by mixing topics and hiding one of the topics. Very well, by the way. Very well. You and Aryan doesn't seem to have problem with that, so I'm glad. No? The only thing that they make it excessively annoying is the monitor question. No?
I was fine with the monitor question, except for the one part of the kinematics.
The last part. I think the last part.
Yeah, but that was mainly it. I understood what the amplitude is, etc.
Correct. When you activate your reading brain, you tend to be better at those annoying reading questions. Very annoying reading questions. If you give your brain time to process it, which I believe you did. Right? Right. So again, my this is just a prediction, okay, Michael? Don't take my word for it, you understand? But I'm predicting that paper 2 will do the same thing, mixing certain topics. That's how it is going to be hard. Because of the amount of topics left, it feels that way. Feels that way. Remember the geometry question? The circle geometry question, right? The circle, the chord, the one like that looks like this, something like that. Remember? It was question 6 or question 7.
Oh, the proving.
The two tangent,
the
yeah, the
coordinate
proving one.
geometry. I think it's 2x. I did part 2 first.
And then part 1, right?
Yeah.
I find it to be not difficult at all. It's just slightly tedious, but it's easy to figure out.
It was easy if I did part 2 first.
That would be nice. I actually do part 1 first. I don't know which one to do first, so I just do one. But he did say in any order, right? So I guess that's nice lah. So my point stays the same. They don't make things difficult by making it purely difficult. They make things difficult by mixing things around. That might be what's happening. Might be lah. Unfortunately, Michael, I don't have a lot of questions like that. I don't. So all you can do is just practice more. That's all. That's all. Of the pure topics. There isn't much else to do. Right? You understand me? There's a reason why I cannot give you that kind of question that I want to give you. I don't have them. We have to hunt for them. At that point, no point. Just continue doing stuff. It's okay lah.
Oh.
But, I mean, okay. Noting that tomorrow there will be a lot of trigo question, by the way. Noting that. Proving haven't come out, right? Triangle, trigo haven't come out. Multiple answer, trigo haven't come out.
Okay.
The sketching, the R formula haven't come out. So there's a lot of trigo questions. So I guess we should practice that. The third question also haven't come out. So I'm guessing tomorrow we'll be doing 4 trigo question and 1 cert at the start. I'm guessing already.
Okay.
Then there will be the differentiation before integration that comes in. So it haven't come out, right? There isn't any mensuration question at all in paper 1. So mensuration in any form, like mensuration in cert, or mensuration in proc, or mensuration in maximum minimum, very likely to come up. Very, very likely.
Okay.
So trigo, cert, mensu, croc, maximum minimum. Very likely to come out all tomorrow.
Okay.
So maybe you just practice that.
What about LL?
Linear law already come out. One on say it was question.
Yeah, but then like maybe it's a harder one because the LL.
No. It is very unlikely for them to repeat topic because there's already a lot of topic they haven't done.
Oh, okay.
You understand? The LL seems easy. Where I will call the last LL, the 2 marks C, is slightly difficult. 50% some people don't know how to handle. Some
what was
only.
the question? The last part?
The second part was they find the initial, right?
Yeah.
Find the initial. So I think it was 3 something lah. Then you have to remember that's the ln below. They have to find the B lah.
Yeah.
Right?
So
then
I thought you
dropped.
take the initial B divided by 2
half and then ln it again. Yeah, ln it first before you sub it. Ln it first before you sub it.
That's not that tough. Well,
it is not if you understand.
Oh.
That means you understand LL. And that's a total of 6 or 7 marks. They won't give you another LL. I don't think so.
Okay.
That's it, lo. That's it, lo.
So trig integration.
For trig, third, including a lot of mensu, and then the differentiation before integration. Those are the major stuff already tomorrow. Right? Discriminant already come out. Polynomial already come out. Partial fraction already come out. Binomial already come out. In this and log lah. In this and log also. The in this word problem also technically haven't come out.
Okay.
It's very predictable what's going to happen tomorrow. Very, very predictable. So all those topics, if they want to, they can make it purely difficult. Like log, if they want to, they can make it purely difficult. Maybe they will do that tomorrow.
Okay.
Look, we cannot predict stuff, but just practice is enough one.
Okay.
All 3 of you are ready. All 3 of you are ready. Okay, Michael, practice more. Practice more. Right? Kakak Brian, thanks for helping. I'll see you on Sunday.
Oh, Sunday is 9, is it?
Let me think for a while. What should be happening on Sunday? Yeah, they're preparing for physics. That's all, right? Michael, would you like to meet earlier on Sunday?
What time?
Like 8, look?
8?
Yeah.
I'll meet at 8:30. I don't know if
Okay.
I can make 8.
Let's meet at 8:30 lah.
Okay.
Okay. Why don't we make it 8:30, Kakak Brian? Then it's 8:30.
Can.
All right. Okay. Right. Thank you for the help during
Okay, no
this
problem.
O-level time. All right.
Okay,
Okay.
bye-bye.
Bye. Keiko. Oh yeah, Keiko, you're doing it.
I feel like I'm missing a minus I somewhere. I don't know. Oh, sorry, plus I. Wait.
Yeah, you make the same mistake again.
Eh?
You make the same mistake there. This thing. That thing is minus I, not -1.
Oh.
Right. That might affect a lot of things down the road. Noah, how are you?
Okay.
Right. I told Michael same thing. I'm here for moral support. If you want to stay here, you stay here until you no longer want to stay here. Like Aryan left at 9, pretty much fine. Michael wants to stay here, pretty much fine. What do you want?
Maybe I'll leave.
How are you feeling?
Okay. But I
Right.
messed up paper 1, so paper 2 I have to do better.
If you don't mind, tell me a bit more about your paper one.
I forgot which question. But one of the question I did careless. Then
One. The rest are okay, really.
the rest is I either know or don't know. The one I don't know is the 120 cm on the screen.
You mean you cannot continue until the remaining part lah?
I could, but maybe no, part 3 I could and part 1.
Only partially you cannot do lah. That's a kinematic question lah. That's just okay. That's a kinematic question, right? How do you feel about paper one? What do you think? As in, did you target marks or not? Did you count your marks? What is likely to get? What do you likely get?
But I didn't count. But I know it's not as good as practices. So.
Give estimate log. Like this is out of 90 marks, right? So how many marks will you get? Yeah, I'll go down slowly. 75?
No.
70?
No.
65?
No.
60?
Maybe not.
55?
No, I think around 70, I mean.
You mean around 70? Yeah, my goodness me.
No.
You mean between 70 and 75? You mean?
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's very good result. I don't think that paper one is easy. I don't think paper one is easy. What does everybody say?
Everyone else was saying like how they could get 4 marks or 80 plus. They need to bell curve something.
I mean, 80 marks is not bell curve, right? 80 marks. So I mean, everybody's getting nicely. Like, are you sure? Like, for example,
low 70s or high 60s.
I mean, I feel. Sorry, what do you mean by 60? Sorry.
High 60s or low 70s, like the mark range.
Your range, you mean?
Yeah.
So average 70 lah. That's what you're saying lah.
Around there. Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah. So it's not 70 to 75, just average 60. I can 70. I can understand. Really, everybody's talking that they can get full marks. I mean, certain questions are easy lah. I know, like the binomial was not complicated. The circle geometry was not difficult.
Yeah.
The CG is difficult because I think there's a hidden circle. That was the second part. The polynomial is slightly difficult because there's a hidden discriminant.
Or maybe I just set my standards too high.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's a difficult paper. I wouldn't say it's an easy paper. Right? It's a reasonable paper.
Okay.
Now, for tomorrow, again, just to be clear, we know what to expect. You notice that there isn't a lot of trigo question, right?
Yeah.
So all 4 trigo will probably come out tomorrow. The multiple answer, the proving, the triangle, and the R formula.
Yeah.
Cert, I don't think cert counts. I don't think cert came up last time. I like in paper 1. There's one very small cert question, right? So I think cert will come out tomorrow. So according to order, we'll be doing 4 trigo and 1 cert already.
Area under graph.
Area graph didn't come out, but wait, before you do that, there isn't any mensuration question also. Mensuration question. So very likely tomorrow, your R formula will have mensuration. Your cert will have mensuration. Maximum, minimum, maybe haven't come out on paper 1. So if it does come out on paper 2, also have mensuration. That's what we expect.
Should I expect? Wait, were there logarithms?
Yeah, no logarithm, no indice, no indice word problem.
Okay.
Those 3. Then your 2 integration, which is area under the graph, and the differentiation, then integrate, also haven't come out.
Yep.
That's almost pretty much all of paper 2.
Okay.
So the expectations are clear. If you want to practice certain topic, either you do it today or tomorrow. If you have any questions that you want to ask, you also do it. I noticed that just now you talk about the sketching of trigo graph with Kakak, right?
Someone.
Why did you do that? The sketching on trigo came out in paper 1. What?
Trigo.
Just now I noticed that you discussed sketching of trigo graph with Kakak, right?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a trigo graph, right?
Graph question.
Oh, it is an area under the graph question. Oh, no one.
Yeah.
Okay, then I guess trigo may come out there, definitely. I guess that might be what they do. Yeah, there isn't enough trigo in paper 1. So based on all those topics, no question.
No.
All right, then feel free to leave. And any question you say in WhatsApp, I'll just answer them.
All right. See you guys.
Right, I'll see you on Sunday then.
God,
Yes, Michael.
I need help.
Yes, I'm not seeing anything. Tell me.
I shared a new Jamboard.
A new Jamboard, you mean? Yeah?
Yeah.
New Jamboard, sure thing.
At page 5.
Page 5. Okay, Mike 1027. So Keiko, I think finally finished it, right?
Yeah.
Surprise, surprise. The first method is definitely shorter, right?
I think I just made a lot of careless mistakes. Though I realized that I have been making a lot of careless mistakes recently.
It doesn't surprise me, at least at the start, at the first year. That happens in H2 math. It's not surprising. Not surprising. Right. Michael, I'm seeing page 5, right? So
Yeah.
which question are we talking about?
Part 1.
No.
Okay.
Which number? Which
number is A? Question
Page
13.
5, 13, right? There's 12, 13, and 14, right? So 13, right?
Yeah.
Part A.
Yeah.
You want to ask about why would you want to ask about part A?
Because my derived answer is different from the answer key, and the answer key is looking a bit wonky. So
why don't you test first? Remember,
I can divide it by.
Yeah, the first guy divided the original guy divided by your answer. If your answer is correct, then the heck, man. You can show me both if you're curious. So, Keiko, this is your first taste of complex number, right? There is definitely much more to come, but remember your impression of the first method. Like I promised that this first method solves a lot of problem on exam questions. You sometimes sorry?
It does feel somewhat like certs in a way.
In a way, yeah, in a way. in a way.
Yeah, I realized,
Correct.
right, I don't know what's the term that's used for imaginary numbers, but there's some sort of like rationalizing in like
Oh yeah. For example, the W, you are rationalizing. Yes,
yeah.
they hate the presence of I below. They hate it so much. And just like sir, you are absolutely correct.
Okay.
You're absolutely correct. Those impressions that you have are accurate and you will be very useful. Good. This is again because we're the normalish algebra side. When you go to the second method, you will feel new and hopefully not very difficult.
I see. Okay.
So great that you don't feel lost. I guess I'll just see you on Sunday then.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Bye, Giko.
Bye-bye.
Okay, Michael, how is it?
Oh, but just careless mistake on my part.
Oh. So you did found that there is a mistake, right?
I put sine square A minus cosine square A as 1 instead of cosine 2A. Because yeah.
Huh?
I put cosine square
A
minus sine square A as 1 instead
it's
of.
not 1, right?
Yeah, it's not 1.
It's plus, right? Cosine square A plus sine square A is equals to 1, right? Yeah.
Cosine 2A. Yeah.
Yeah. How do you figure out your mistake?
Just look back at the formula because I misread it. The thing at the front of the
Meaning you don't rely on the answer key. There's a short, it's a short answer key.
I mean, the reason why I went to approach is because even after looking at the answer key, I couldn't find out what is wrong because I thought the answer key just shows 1 plus cosine 2x plus cosine square x minus sine square x. It becomes 1 plus 2 cosine 2x. But then I don't know how it became that when I kept on thinking that cosine square x minus sine square x is 1. So that's why I went to you. But then then I'm
right.
wrong. Yeah.
Okay, sure thing. Okay, sure thing. Well, I guess keep practicing and next question if you want.
Yeah, but what happens if I can't do like the part A? Then what about part B? Am I just like that for part B?
I'm so sorry. You're saying if you cannot what?
What happens if I cannot find part A? Then am I just dead for part B or what?
You're just talking about this question, right? Don't know what happened tomorrow, yeah. But in this question, if you cannot find that form, I don't think the way to integrate the cosine square cannot be integrated, sine square cannot be integrated. Okay, pretty simple, right? So you have to do your own manipulation, right? If you cannot find the first part, because to be fair, the first part can be integrated easily, right? A plus B cosine 2A can integrate very easy somehow.
Yeah.
So if you cannot do part A or cannot find it, and then part B also cannot, you can assume that you are dead, or you just spend more time finding part A. Or if you're really here's a third option. If you really want to get some marks for part B, you just integrate A plus B cosine 2A.
A plus B cosine 2A.
Meaning you don't know what is A and you don't know what's B, right? Okay. You can still integrate A plus B cosine 2A, right? A becomes AX. B cosine 2A, you integrate becomes B over 2 sine 2X. Correct?
Yeah.
So you do that, and then you evaluate the definite integral also in terms of A and B. You will still get some marks. It's a very reasonable marks to give you. So you're not dead in this question, I believe.
Oh, okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You are dead though if they don't even give you A plus B to B cosine 2X. I suppose. Right? You don't have to worry about it.
Okay.
Tomorrow you're gonna do 4-3 go first. Sorry, the proving one no need lah. Proving one. This is similar to proving, isn't it? I guess.
But part B is rather easy for 5 marks.
I think so. I mean, the danger is more in the careless mistakes.
Yeah.
And the fact that you may not realize that those are meant to be radian because they don't tell. Maybe you don't realize.
This is radian what? Is evaluate pi over 12.
Yeah, you're relying on the pi. It's dangerous. So even if they don't mention pi, for example, they just say 1 to 2.
Then that will also be radian one because it's not degrees.
Yeah. In that sense, the integration of integration and differentiation like this will never be in degree. It'll never be. It'll always be in radian. That's why they invent radian. Please continue practicing. Yes.
Cover question 14 is also a bit weird.
I cannot read the full question though. I can see the picture.
Yeah, I can send the second part.
Put it in the Jamboard. There you go. Finally. Yeah. Right. So what's your question? This is likely to happen tomorrow because of this fiction.
I cannot see the 3 pieces of tape. I don't see it at all.
Oh, mensuration usually relies on us reading the picture, right? Okay, right. So you're saying that you cannot show, right?
No, I cannot. I cannot
but
see
you can
the tape.
do part B.
Part B.
Can you do part B?
Given that R can vary, should have V had, yeah.
Okay, you can, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, so okay, I'll leave that 5 marks to you. So this 5 marks, right? Okay, so he said that whose width and thickness may be ignored, right?
Yeah.
If you cannot see, maybe symbolically or rather literally it's because they don't have any width and thickness.
Okay.
Right? Even though there is a shape, weird, right? A rectangle obviously has width, right? Right? It has width and length, right? But here you go, he say the width and thickness may be ignored. I'm already ignoring something integral to a rectangle. Okay, sure. The other two pieces are in the shape of circle, right? Okay, the total length is 600 centimeter. Yeah, I can definitely see a rectangle and two circles though. I can quite easily. Can't you?
Is it the two circles at the end?
Okay, there's a row of material, right, in the shape of cylinder. So the two circle at the end, is that the row of the material or is that the tape? There's only two possibilities, right? There's only two possibilities. I try my best not to tell you, okay? I'm really trying my best not to spoil it for you. You gotta learn how to see that for the sake of tomorrow. Again, Michael, he said that the tape is two circles and one rectangle. Where are they? Like Lee.
This one, and this one. This circle.
Are you referring to okay, I can see two circles at the end. I can see that. And then the rectangle, just to be clear, which rectangle do you mean? Okay, I think that does look like a rectangle, right? So I see no other rectangle, I suppose. So I guess that should be one of the adhesive tape, right? Adhesive tape.
Yeah.
Now, for practical reasons, I disagree with you. People don't usually put adhesive tape at the two ends. This is really for practical reason. They don't say it anywhere here. I feel that that's unlikely, though, is what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Maybe there are other places that makes more sense to put adhesive tape to hold the roll together. Two circles. There are no other circles possible.
It's just here.
Beside the two ends.
It's like here.
Your brain cannot see the two circle beside the two circle at the end. Really?
I mean, why would I put it here?
If you hold a roll with a rubber band, I guess not adhesive tape, yeah. Because we use rubber band more, would you put it at the end?
If I hold a roll
with rubber band?
No.
Why wouldn't you put the rubber band at the end?
Because the center of gravity is at the middle.
Yeah, and for one more practical reason, the rubber band will quickly fall off at the end. Gone already.
Oh.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Would you put an adhesive tape at the end? I guess you could, but it will quickly Dislodge? Right? You see two other circle. Would you put your rubber band there if you have two rubber bands, I suppose?
Or in the middle?
If you have two rubber bands, you're going to put both in the middle.
No, like,
Yeah.
no, one to the left, one to the right, of the middle.
I suppose, right? That is just practical, right? That's also better for the rope, right? If I have two, lah. So now you use tape instead of a rubber band, I suppose, you know. All right. Again, would you put it at the end? Would you put it in the middle? Would you put it in the two other circle? Agreeably, the question doesn't say. I agree. I understand. That's why we're having this discussion. It's very weird. So practical wise, would you put it on that two circle then?
The one in the middle.
Yeah.
Sure.
I guess that's what we go for. I'm not saying that that's right. I'm saying that that's likely. And the question is a bit weird that way, I suppose.
Okay.
Fair enough. The question is weird that way. Can you now try to answer the question? The 5 mark is not easy. It's not difficult, I suppose. It's worth 5 mark, I suppose. Right? Mensuration question. Gonna happen tomorrow, I'm guessing.
When they say that they use 3 pieces of adhesive tapes and 2 of them are like in the shape of the circle, that means the entirety of that circle in the ones near the middle are just adhesive tape.
I have to read the English for you. One piece of the tape is in the shape of a rectangle. You did put a rectangle shape, right? Okay. The other 2 pieces are in the shape of a circle. You identify 2 circles.
Yeah.
Total length of rectangle plus circle is 600 centimeter. No? That's it.
Okay.
Right? That's what they say. I am very happy that you're trying to read. I'm very happy. Still very happy. Is there any other possible interpretation besides that?
I don't think so.
Okay. I'm not saying that this is easy to read. It's a little bit annoying. But if you feel that you have done reading, then let's try to do this. Again, very likely tomorrow this will happen. Mensuration. Are you okay, Michael? Because I cannot see anything.
Yeah.
All right. You could show me a video if you like, right? Just normal. Michael, are you okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I got it both
Good.
correct.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. How do you feel? Is it giving you a lot of trouble?
It's just very long-winded. It's annoying. It's not difficult. It's annoying.
Fair, fair, fair. Because I cannot see your work. Do you want to show me?
Oh, you want a picture or?
Yeah, sure. Another type of mensuration, which is easier, is the similarity mensuration, the one that involves usually a cone and two triangles, similar triangles. Right? Also likely, right?
Cone.
Yeah, a cone, and then inside a cone you have two triangles. The
Oh,
triangles will be similar, and that will be the how to solve the problem. That one is quite common. The way you do it is oh no, the proving is no. I was checking the proving. Could you do the proving or not? No, the proving was done quite easily, isn't it?
yeah.
Oh no. For 5 marks, that's unexpected. So the tedious one is the later part, is it?
Yeah.
The tedious one is a later part. And is there anything that you can do to it? I think you're already doing it the fastest way. I agree that you expand. Expanding will make it easier. Yeah, I totally agree with you expanding it. Right. Is there a better way of doing it?
I don't think so.
Wait a minute. Oh, goodness me. You made a mistake. I think it's a fatal mistake. This is not okay at all. I did say this last time. Make sure you remember this. Show that V is a stationary value when this. Let me think for. Are you okay? Yeah, it's not okay for you to do this. Oh, yeah. Okay, so show that V has a stationary value when R equals to, wait, let me think for.
I thought since R has a real value, then V when dV dr is equal to 0, then it has a stationary value.
No, it's fine. I'm sorry. No, it's fine. What you did is fine. No, why it is fine. Right. I made a mistake. Gladly then. Gladly. Yeah, that's the price. Okay. No, that's fine. Yeah, there is no other way. There's no other way. Congratulations.
Oh. Did I do it right or something? Or
Is there a better don't think so.
No, but what were you talking about? Like I did it wrong or something. I don't know.
Because show, I was reading the word show that V as a section number when R is that. Then
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
thinking,
but
can
then
you use it?
technically, but then at the end of the day, it's like I thought
No,
DVD
yeah,
R equals to 0. Then like you
correct.
basically
No,
just find DVD R, then sub R as the thing, and then
no,
like
I thought the issue is that you're not supposed to use the R, right? The R is the answer. No, but the R is not the answer. The answer they're looking for is that V has a stationary value, not that R is equal to that.
yeah.
So it's not show that R is equal to that. Then if that is what they want, then you cannot use it. But in this case, you can.
But how would I be able to find that? It's like very hard already.
No, they have to change the question. They have to change the question. That's fine. That's fine. No, what you did is fine. So no, never mind. I raised a problem that did not exist.
Okay.
Moving on. If you could practice another mensuration with cone or cert with cone or that kind of stuff, get things with mensuration. Right? Don't forget your logs. Don't forget your indices, right?
I think I'll do trig though. More trig because I've been practicing.
Proving our formula. Our formula also have the all the triangle stuff like it's also good stuff.
But I think I'll also leave first though.
Yes, it's already 10, right?
Yeah.
Rest, and then tomorrow just practice more. I mean, you just finished your chemistry, right?
Yeah.
You should be quite tired. How do you feel right now?
Either I'm gonna like score like A2 or B3, or I'm gonna like do extremely terribly. It's 50-50.
That doesn't make sense.
Because
how's the section B?
I felt confident writing most of the answers. Section B was quite nice. The either or is electrolysis, so that was easy. It's 3 marks for electrolysis for me. I chose or because pretty much they talk about they have 2 beakers. The one on the left they put a zinc rod into AQSU SO4, and then the other one is carbon electrodes with the power supply into CU at AQSU SO4. There's like note down observations and change whatever, etc. And then it's easy lah. I assume the zinc rod into CuSO4, no, sorry, purely CuSO4 is just like displacement reaction, because that's the only thing I can think of. Well, that's it. And then the other one is electroplating on the carbon rods. Then they also said replace the carbon rods with so the carbon electrodes with copper. Then what will change from the carbon? Then I'm like, that's easy also. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Seems standard. Like I wouldn't know until I see the question, but it does seem very standard for section B. A bit surprising. Right. Okay. The other section B?
The other section B, I think is macromolecules.
Good. Your stuff, right? Your stuff. In the end, the 45 minutes, 1 hour division doesn't work.
It's more like, actually, it was pretty much that I had like 15 minutes for the final question.
You mean you do it faster than expected?
No, I like barely finished on time, and I had to like skip not a question, but like some question parts that I'm gonna take too long thinking about this. So I think overall I didn't answer like 4 marks of questions, but that was it. Because
I mean, chemistry always short of time.
Always. No, because essentially I had to skip it to avoid like thinking too much about it and taking too much time just thinking about the question instead of doing it. So
I understand. So you're talking about section A or section B? Sorry.
Section. This was mainly section A, not B.
Right.
The skipping.
Right. So section B, you end up doing 45 minutes reasonably.
Yeah.
Like you think you can score 21 or more?
Out of 80.
No. The section B is 30 marks.
Oh.
So I mean, can you score 21 or more out of the 30?
I think I can maybe score 20.
Okay. Then the section A is 50, right? So you think you can score maybe
35. I think
No,
I can pull up with MCQ, but I like because it's not a matter of whether I understand it, it's a matter of how I apply it, as you know. So that's why I'm mostly better at MCQ in chem than I am in written. I mean, that goes for I think most people also lah.
most people also. That's why it's a big deal in terms of chem. It's just that, never mind. MCQ, you'll be able to practice a lot anyway. That's another thing going on. So that's fine. That's fine. I understand. So you think that maybe you'll get 55 look for section for paper 2 lah.
Yeah.
Okay lah, definitely not A1.
But it's definitely not from my better than my last time C5. So
Definitely. If you do get 55, you're already at B territory. Probably B3, hoping for A2, but probably B3 lah. That is if everything is according to plan. I understand what you're saying. Good job lah. You're the most pressured one, out of us 3 lah, because you have to score everything.
oh,
Remember, you cannot let go of AMAT, you can let go of physics, you can let go of chem, you can let go of EMAT, you can't let go of anything.
okay. Yeah.
So never mind the pressure. Who cares? You did well for paper 1, you did well for your chemistry paper 2, not so bad, right? Not so bad. We'll focus on paper 2 tomorrow.
Okay.
And then we'll rest lah. And then on Sunday, we'll talk about physics.
Okay.
You still remember that you have a plan, right? You have a plan for the Saturday and the Sunday, right? You're gonna learn this, right? So you just stick to the plan, right? Stick to it.
Okay. Well,
I'll see you and do send me questions on WhatsApp, right?
Okay.